Welcome to the STARS program, seniors taking active roles in society. And now, here's your host, Anita Finley.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Is it raining out there? It's not raining here.
Not at all. It is beautiful, sunny in North Palm Beach. It's deceptive. It's still Florida. We know we're going to see water soon enough.
Yeah, that's good.
But
Well,
it sure beats a drought.
yeah, it's true. It beats a drought. Well, let's just talk about what's going on in the practice of law with elder law people. Because, you know, there's so many rules and regulations that are out there, Joe, that really nobody knows if you're dealing in this area, but you've got to go to a board-certified elder law attorney. Don't go just to a plain attorney. They do not know.
Unfortunately, they may know some stuff, but not enough. They don't stay on top of it. The same thing even with people who just say they're elder law attorneys. They're not held to the same standard as certified lawyers. And I analogize it to your surgeons and your doctors. If you have an issue that can impact on the rest of your life, you're not just going to go to a doctor who can just do it or has been practicing medicine for 3 years. You want somebody who's the community and their professional community acknowledges their expertise, because sometimes in life you only get one shot. In fact, my wife had some foot problems, and she met with a podiatrist. Actually, this is up in New York at the Hospital for Special Surgery. And he's, I believe, the head of the podiatry department at the Hospital for Special Surgery. And his specialty is he doesn't do surgery. He says, I spend all my time fixing people's feet who had surgery by people who didn't know what they were doing. Seriously. And as we all know in our lives, fixing mistakes from people who thought they could do the right thing can be problematic. We had somebody did something in my office. A handyman said, "Oh, I can fix that." Well, we had a subsequent, and it was a plumbing problem. It was underneath the sink. He said, "Oh, he's a handyman." He said, "I can take care of that." Well, when the leak started, he came back in and he said to my office manager, "I think you better get a plumber." Hello, he should have said that before he started to fix it.
Yeah, true. But
now we got to fix his mistake and probably buy new parts for things. So the answer is, and I'm not knocking people. If you came to me to do a real estate transaction, and they say, "Joe, I heard you were a terrific lawyer," and I'd say, "Well, thank you for the compliment. We need you to assist in this real estate transaction." They say, "You know how terrific I am? I won't do your real estate transaction because that's not my area of expertise. Let me give you the name of a couple of real estate lawyers, or I'll give you the name of the lawyer I used to help me buy my house and my investments in real estate." So it's the same thing, and people have got to realize it. I mean, you don't think of these things as small. Your estate plan is about 100% of what you own or will own. This is critical, and you notice I didn't use the magic number of how many dollars it matters. It's 100% of what you own, and it's 100% of taking care of yourself while you're alive and your family. And I mean, it's interesting. Every time somebody starts talking about their estate plan to me, and we start talking, and I said, "Well, let's talk about responsibilities. Who do you want handling things?" And they say, "Well, when I die," I say, no.
no.
We don't have to worry about when you die.
Right.
Because the first person you got to protect in your estate plan is yourself. The second person, on an equal level or higher for many of us, like me and like Bill, your husband, is how is my wife protected? And we want to know that. That's our concern. Debt is important, but so I say, well, if you couldn't make your own health care decisions, who should make it for you? And some of those conversations get difficult because, and this is not the law, this is just the real world. I had a client come in that hadn't been in 18 years. I said, well, you're supposed to do a review every 3 years. Don't think you can come in 6 times in the next week to catch up. And I said they conceded the reason that they finally came in is he's having memory problems. And I said, do you think, I turned to the husband, I said, do you think if your wife were sick and you had to talk to 3 different doctors to assess what decisions should be made for her if she was unable to handle it, do you think you could handle that? You think you could remember everything? He said, oh my God, it never even occurred to me. Of course I couldn't. He said, I couldn't put it all in my head. And we then talked about how that's compounded by the emotionality of the situation as well. But he recognized the seriousness of the issue. And again, they were surprised because they were talking about because they had a death in the family and they were really going to take somebody out of the trust. And and it came down to, it's all about what's going on with you while you're alive. So I agree, people really need to see who they need to see. And there are some things in life that are minor, but some people don't even understand how major certain things can be. The number of people who come to my office with powers of attorney that are not legally sufficient, done by lawyers who mean well, but they didn't know the changes in the law that took place in 2011, and they're still using the forms that they either bought or they bought or got somewhere when they first started their practice.
Joe, this is a good time for me to jump in to remind people, if you go to Joe's seminars, then you'll learn a lot of this, and it's free, and it's amazing. Let me just tell you about his seminars. Joseph S. Karp is an elder law attorney and board certified, and he's located, his main office is in Palm Beach Gardens. But what he does is he goes to 3 different places to provide seminars for you. The first one is Tuesday, June 14th from 1:30 to 4 in Port St. Lucie at the Holiday Inn, and he usually has one of his other attorneys do this. Then Wednesday, June 15th, 1:30 to 4, Palm Beach Gardens Marriott. And then Thursday, June 16th, 1:30 to 4, the Courtyard by Marriott, Boynton Beach. And I have to just emphasize the fact there's no other elder law attorney doing what Joe does. He's done this for many, many years, and you will get so smart, and you will be able to tell those lawyers you go to yourself that they're making mistakes. But anyway, I want to give you his phone number just in case you want to call there for more information, and then you can get on his website and see so many very important things for you. The phone number is 1-800-893-9911, 1-800-893-9911. And if you go to his website, it's a fabulous website. It's karplaw.com, KARPLAW.com. I'll bet, Joe, that when people come to your workshops, they just shake their head and they say, oh, my God, I didn't know any of that.
It's absolutely true. I got to tell you, and it's nice, but this is, and then I want to add something to the stuff you just said to fill in a blank or two. One, it is amazing to me that after I do the seminar, how frequently I get a round of applause as if I were entertaining, and I get people walking up afterwards thanking me for the information that they had never thought existed. And they don't digest it all. They don't digest it all. They've just learned, hey, here's a source. We've got to find out this is the relationship we want to develop. I mean, when you go and you listen on PBS or you listen to Dr. Mencia, if you're listening to Dr. Mencia, he's throwing stuff at you on the radio for a half hour as part of the listening audience here. You say, Jesus, I never knew that. I never knew that. I didn't think about that. And then you say, this guy's been doing this for a long time, and I only heard him for a half hour. Holy crow, I wonder all the things he knows about that would help me personally, because I didn't get to hear everything, and heck, I don't remember half the things he said, but everything he said made sense. It's inconsistent with some of the things I knew, or I didn't even know to do that. When he starts talking about diet and he talks about what foods you should not eat at the same time, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is not just cheeseburgers for the Orthodox. He's talking about what things don't, and you say, wait a minute, I never thought about that, or when you should take certain meds and things like that. You say, that's a guy I want to listen to more. And that's the same thing that happens at these workshops. People walk out educated that there's more than they ever thought existed that should be addressed. And it's not just about wealthy people. It's about people who don't want to be poor people. It's about people who want to make sure everything is done right to make life easier for themselves and their family. The other things I just wanted to add, one is a heads up. First of all, and a compliment to the attorney who covers the seminar in Boynton, in Port St. Lucie. It's Jenny Bernstein, who's been with me 12 years, and she is also a board-certified elder law attorney. Two, although my main office is in Palm Beach Gardens, we do seminars in Port St. Lucie and Boynton Beach, but we've had offices in both Port St. Lucie and Boynton Beach for 15 years. So we have offices to meet your needs. You're not just going to go to a seminar in that location and say, oh, now I got to drive to Palm Beach Gardens. Next, just a heads up, our website went down, and they're in the process of fixing it.
Oh, my.
But no matter what, so if you go to the website, don't think we went out of business. They're fixing it. They say it'll be ready by Monday, but, you know, if your cable TV has ever gone down, sometimes they tell you it'll be ready by the next day, and it's ready in an hour, and sometimes it's not ready for a couple of days. So we're aware of it, and if you call our office, we know it's down, we're working on it. We're not, because you know what? I hire experts to do what they do best. I don't try to do stuff myself that's not in my skill set. And lastly, I'll repeat one other thing is your listeners have heard me on the air with you now probably for 15, 17 years.
True. Yep.
I want to tell you that if you don't make the June seminars, we're not doing any until August. So try to work it in. This is a good time to come. The snowbirds aren't in. We offer a free consultation to people we think we can help. And this is a good time to come in and do it because we're staying busy. In fact, one of the reasons we're not doing July seminars, workshops, is a lot of our clients, because we, as I said, we offer free 3-year reviews. A lot of our clients have started to schedule it that we're now setting appointments in the middle of July because people want to see us. That doesn't mean we don't have anything in June. It means people are starting to do their plans. So we said, you know what? We don't want to take in a July seminar. Let's put that off till August. So coming in the June seminar, I'll repeat our phone number in case when you get to our website, there's nothing to show you. It's the toll-free number. Obviously, we have local numbers at every office, but the easiest number to call for information is 1-800-893-9911. And it's just a funny thing. A week ago, we switched our entire phone system after 14 years. So there was a time when our website and our phones were all down at once. The frantic pace of my office as to how we're going to do things, people are trying to reach us, was incredible. But we survived it all with a smile.
You probably had so much work to do anyway, got you a chance to catch up. But, you know, and we're remiss too, Joe.
More importantly, though, we're in a service business. We are service professionals. And number one, we always want our clients to know they can reach us. That's important. I mean, if you can't call your lawyer, because we tell people we're there when you need us. We have Post-it notes that we used to sometimes give clients notes to what to do, and with the firm name and number. And our motto on that Post-it note is, your peace of mind is our priority, because we understand most people don't do estate planning. Most people don't have loved ones going into a nursing home or suffering from Alzheimer's, dementia, Parkinson's, frontal lobe disorder, Lewy bodies disorder, any of those things, many times in their lives, and they're overwhelmed situationally. They don't have people dying every day. So when they call us, they need us, and we understand that. We understand when people call us, there's two times. One, when life is easy and they know they should plan. The other is a lot of our clients, existing clients who ask to plan, and prospective clients are calling when it hits the fan, when the need is there and they're in distress. And they need, and that's one of the reasons we leave open time on our calendars so we can take care of that stuff. And we also try to communicate. You know what I did yesterday afternoon?
I have no idea.
We give the staff who wants to take off, we let them work an extra half hour Monday through extra time so that they can take a half a day off on Friday. They can work an extra 9 hours Monday through Thursday, and Friday they can work 4 hours. We do that in the summer. So what do you think Joe was doing yesterday afternoon? They had me booked for phone calls with clients. I had a 1 o'clock, 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30,
my God.
5 o'clock. I had phone calls every half hour to talk to clients who had needs. And we schedule them because we respect people's time and we understand their frustration. Sometimes they say, oh, I don't need, just have them call me anytime. And we say, anytime's not a good time. Can we fix a time to talk with you so that you're not frustrated, you're not sitting by a phone, or you're not giving me your cell phone and he's going to call you when you're in Publix? Let's set a time. So we try to accommodate our clients and recognize that. And that's how we've built the firm.
Yep.
Because we understand time and all of this stuff is very stressful for most people.
Well, Joe, I have to just, though, commend you. I mean, I have never heard from anyone anything but compliments, because you are a very caring person and you move that. I mean, look, you could have been a doctor, you could have been anything else. Your personality would have shown in whatever you do. But being an elder law attorney is, as you said, so important, and it's better for people to go ahead of time before you really need that kind of help. And I was just saying that we just got that notice from you too about every 3 years, and we certainly need to sit down because things have changed in our life and we need to get that taken care of. And I'm sure everybody, every year or even less, things change in your life. So please do call Joe. If he hasn't been your attorney, make him your attorney. I really wholeheartedly suggest you do that. Call him at 1-800-893-9911. I know we don't have a lot of time, but I know that your article, because our magazine just came out in June, the new federal rules for paying your home health care worker, is a very, very well done article.
It's a very important topic. Now, this is an area that I don't specialize in, but this is an area that my clients have to be attentive to, which is home health people are now entitled to time and a half after 40 hours. And don't tell me, oh, this lady's an independent contractor. There's tons of people who are not independent contractors, even though you want to call it that. I mean, it used to be, so we're clear, that everybody who worked in the beautician shop was deemed an independent contractor, and everyone who worked in a barber shop or beauty parlor were independent contractors. They come in, they get a percentage of whatever they do, and they were found not to be independent contractors. They were employees. Most of the people you hire to come into your house are employees. Independent contractors are few and far between. Yes, if you have some cleaning person come in once every 3 weeks, and she calls and says, I'm not going to come on Tuesday, I'll call. She's probably an independent contractor. But the other people who are working in your home as caregivers, they very well may be employees. And if they're coming in, that means under the new federal laws, they're entitled to time and a half. And that's important to know, because you say, oh, she's happy, I'm paying her cash. Well, forget about the legality of that whole issue. Here's what happens. That person is working for you, and you're paying that person. This person's doing a 12-hour day, taking care of your loved one, and they're doing it 5 days a week at 60 hours, and you're giving them $10 an hour, and you say, they're in heaven. I'm giving them $10 an hour on a 60-hour week. I'm giving them $600 cash. They're happy. And she loves us. We're so nice to her. We sent her kids gifts, and when her daughter graduated high school, we gave her a $25 cash gift, and we just sold her our old car for $1,500, even though it's worth $3,000. She loves us. And then your loved one either goes into a nursing home or dies. And then she finds out that she got screwed, that she was entitled to time and a half. Then all of a sudden she doesn't love you because you ripped her off. And she's going to hire a lawyer and sue you. Mm. And that means she was entitled to $15 an hour for the 20 hours that you only paid her 10. She's going to get it for 2 years. She's going to get her attorney's fees, and you're going to get yourself in a ringer. And if you think it can't happen to you, there's tons of stuff that happened to all of us that doesn't happen to us, right?
Absolutely.
Every one of us has had something happen that only happens to other people. Remember the line, no good deed goes unpunished?
Oh, right.
Okay? No good deed goes unpunished. Are you kidding? I've been paying her cash. She hasn't been paying the taxes. Mm. I'm getting away with it. Well, now you're going to owe Social Security for her, too, and Medicare payments, and everything. So what I'm saying is be very careful. Understand that there's a law out there that you can get fried with. So I would urge people a couple of things with regard to that. Learn what the law is, and don't come to me. There are labor lawyers that you can talk to, or employment lawyers. 2, consider using an agency. If you use an agency, you're paying the agency. They got to pay the worker. They got to pay the worker. They got to follow the rules. They got to take care of it. And understand there is a difference between a registry and an agency. A registry does not employ the person. They find the person and they will facilitate things for you, but they are not the employees of the registry. That's where people register. An employment agency provides the employee. The other thing I want to remind people is I did in the column, and I read the column this morning, Anita, and I said, boy, that was pretty damn smart. I didn't realize I included this. This may change your perspective as to whether you need long-term care insurance, because you may have said all along, I don't want long-term care insurance because they're going to make me use an agency. I have friends who have used friends. We're okay with that. I don't need to do that. It's going to be cheaper in the long run. I'll just use somebody. And maybe that's no longer the case. So that's an eyes open. That's not an area that I specialize in, but that's an area that I know my clients need help. And I just give everybody a heads up.
Thank you,
Think
Joe.
about these things.
Thank you, Joe. Well,
need for expertise.
Yeah, everything you said is great, and I am very happy that I got to talk to you this morning, and the weather looks great, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for all your good information, and we will talk to you soon.
And do what that card said, Anita. There's a reason you got it. You're overdue.
I know. I'm going to do that. We're going to New York this for 1 week, leaving Sunday. When I come back, that's going to be one of my priorities. You can make the appointment now for July so that you've got it down. Don't wait. Thanks,
Take
my
care,
friend.
everybody. Have a great and glorious
You
weekend.
too.
Tell us that you heard us on Anita's show when you show up at the workshop.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.